Hello and welcome to this week's Yoga Club. As always, your practice is at your own risk, and do just pay attention to how your body feels. You may be feeling different today to how you felt on other days, so work within how your body's feeling free to miss anything out if it's not right for you today. We're going to start lying down, so if you want to take yourself to a good Shavasana posture, corpse pose, feet out to the corners of your mat, hands away from your body, palms turned up, and then once you're there, allowing yourself to let go physically by relaxing your muscles, relaxing your neck, your shoulders, the back of your head, your hips, your heels, your hands. And letting go mentally by allowing your thoughts to move away from thoughts of your day so far or the evening to come or tomorrow, moving your thoughts to your breath. Not trying to do anything in particular with your breath, just becoming its observer. Noticing each inhale, noticing each exhale. And then when you're ready, beginning to direct the expansion of the inhale down into your abdomen. So that as you breathe in, your abdomen will rise. As you breathe out, your abdomen will fall. If you want to get more of a sense of that, you could place your hands on your abdomen so you can really feel that lift on the inhale. And the way that relaxes down on the exhale. Knowing that when we breathe with the abdomen lifting like this, we're using our diaphragm, and this is the most relaxing way to breathe. One of the reasons that runners and cyclists can get cramps, can get when it's difficult to breathe and it's painful, is because the muscles, the breathing muscles, can get a cramp just like other muscles, and that's what can cause a stitch. That's what can cause that pain of a stitch. And one of the ways that you can help to reduce that is by breathing using the best of the breathing muscles, your diaphragm, and keeping your breathing nice and long and steady. So practicing breathing with the diaphragm, abdominal breathing, not just in a yoga class, but when you're watching TV or at any time, can just help to develop that habit of breathing deeply, breathing calmly, helping to improve running and cycling and reduce the chance of a stitch. So just taking 2 more good abdominal breaths. And then bringing your feet together, reaching your arms above your head, pressing your toes away from you, pressing your hands behind you, stretching out as long as you can. Then releasing, bring your arms back by your side, and then from there, bring yourself up to sitting. So coming to a comfortable seated posture, that might be with your legs crossed or your legs stretched out. I'm just going to be here for a moment, feel free to sit on a block. And then just taking your hands by your side, relaxing your shoulders, and then lifting your arms up, stretching your hands wide. taking a tilt over to the left. As you do that, press your right buttock down so that you're keeping a good contact with both buttocks, and then allow that hand to come down as this hand lifts. So getting a good side bend. Then taking that the other way, so coming level, reaching over and lowering the right hand, lifting the left arm up. Keeping good contact with your left buttock in the ground. And then just taking this move in your own time. So side to side. Just awakening the spine, getting the side bend for today's class. If you wanted to make this a little stronger, what you could do is you could take the opposite hand onto your head, lifting the elbow. That might give you a little bit more of a twist. And taking it the other side. So keeping that opposite buttock pressing down, and that will get you the most bend in your spine. So taking one more to each side, finishing with the right side, and then bringing that to a halt. From there, coming up to standing and setting yourself up for sun salutation. So standing at the top of your mat, feet together, growing tall. So lift the crown of your head towards the ceiling as you press your feet down into the ground, making yourself as long as you can. Hands relax, shoulders relax. Maybe just taking your ears back a little so that your head comes straight on top of your shoulders. Then we'll take 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, bringing your hands together at the center of your chest, lifting your elbows, keeping your shoulders relaxing down. And you're reaching up with your arms, lifting them higher, taking them back, looking between them. And as your ribcage tilts up and back, easing your abdomen, your lower back forward, so that all the backward movement is coming in your ribcage, tilting up and not leaning back. Then from your hips, stretching and reaching forward and down. Keep your arms lifted for as long as you can. And then let them come down, bending your knees so that your fingertips are touching the ground, your neck muscles relaxing, your head hangs heavy. Taking your right foot back, lifting your gaze there, letting your hips relax towards the ground, keeping your left knee lifted, pressing your left heel away. Then taking your right foot back to our first down face dog. Hips lift up to the ceiling, hands press down into the ground, heels press down into the ground. Come forward to plank, so your shoulders are over your wrists, you're looking between your hands. Then lower your knees, followed by your chest. Make contact with your chin, or if you can reach, your forehead. Press yourself forward, lifting your face, lifting your chest, coming to your cobra, elbows in close and easing back, chest heads forward. Tucking your toes and lifting your hips, maybe taking your hips back a little first. Down face dog, hands press down, heels press down, hips lift, guiding your weight back so your chest heads towards your knees. Then stretching the calves, so bending your right knee, and as you next exhale, firmly pressing your left heel to the mat. Inhaling to swap. Exhale, left heels pressing down, so your right heels pressing down, so your left heels bent, knees bent. Inhale as you swap. Exhaling, left heel firmly to the mat. Feel the stretch in your left calf. Inhaling, swap. Exhale, stretching out the right calf. Inhale, swap. Exhale, left heel to the mat. Inhaling, swap. Exhale, right heel. Pressing your left heel down to join the right. Lift your hips, press your hands down, press your heels down one final time. Look between your hands, bring your right foot through. Establish your lunge, so hips are relaxing, your gaze is lifting, left heel presses away. Then spring your left foot through, relaxing in your forward fold with your head hanging heavy. Then lead up with your arms, reaching your arms up, bringing your body up with them, taking your arms back as you tilt your rib cage up. Then hands come down. Inhale. Exhale, palms firmly pressed together. Reaching your arms up, tilting your rib cage to the ceiling. From your hips, stretching forward and down, keeping your arms lifted so they control your descent. Neck muscles relax, everything in your upper body relaxes over the legs. Left leg all the way back. Lift your gaze, relax your hips, keeping your right knee lifting as your right heel. Left heel lifting. Left knee lifting as your left heel presses away. Take your right leg back. Down face dog. Hands pressed down. Push forward on your hands to take your chest back. Heels pressed down. And come forward to plank. If you're feeling strong, keep your knees lifted, taking your elbows to the back of the room so you lower down in one straight line, or lower your knees followed by your chest. Lift your face and lift your chest into cobra. Then tucking your toes, lifting your hips, down face dog. Hands pressed down into the mat, hips lift, heels pressed down. Pushing your hands forward against the mat to help your chest ease back, stretching out your armpits. Tilting your tailbone up to the ceiling as your heels press down, stretching out the back of your legs. And then seeing if as you press forward with your hands, you can take your thighs to the wall that's behind you. Looking between your hands, left foot comes through. Lifting your gaze as your hips relax. Right foot through, forward fold. And reaching and leading up with your arms. Looking between your hands as you take your arms back. And hands come down. Inhale. Exhale. So we'll take 2 more rounds straight through. I will offer you a breath to go with each move. Crown of your head lifts, shoulder blades relax. Inhale. Exhale, palms firmly pressing together. Inhale, reaching up, looking between your hands. Exhale, forward and down, fingertips now in line with your toes. Inhale, right leg back, lift your gaze, relax your hips. Exhale, left foot back. Down face dog, hips lifting on high, chest towards your knees. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale as you lower with control. Knees then chest, all one straight line. Inhale, face and chest lifts, shoulder blades and elbows ease back. Exhaling, toes tuck, hips lift on high. Hands press forward, heels press down. Inhaling, right foot through, lift your gaze. Exhale, left foot through, forward fold, relaxing down. Inhale, big reach up with the arms, looking between your hands at the top. Exhale, hands down. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhaling, reaching and stretching up. Exhale, reaching and stretching forward and down. Inhale, left leg back. Lift your gaze, keep your left knee lifting. Exhale, right foot back. Heels press down, guiding your chest back towards your knees. Inhale, forward to plank. Shoulders over hip, wrists. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, pressing forward, lifting your face and lifting your chest. Exhale, toes tuck, hips lift on high, hands press forward against the mat. Inhale, left foot through, lift your gaze. Exhale, right foot through, final forward fold. Inhaling, reaching and stretching up and back. Exhale, hands down. Taking your feet apart, your palms face forward for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. Wonderful. We're going to take a lying down twist in a moment. You might want to just have a belt to hand. It's not essential, but if you've got one, just have one to hand ready for when we take the twist. And as soon as you're ready, then come to lying down into Shavasana. Palms turned up, feet out towards the corners of the mat. Once again, letting go there. Keeping your breath nice and deep. You might want to use abdominal breathing. Taking good, long, deep breaths. Setting yourself up ready to twist, bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards you. Picking up your right foot, placing your right ankle on your left knee. Picking up your hips by pressing into your left foot. So you can move them 2 or 3 inches to the right and then popping them back down. Then with your arms stretched out at shoulder height, pressing your hands away from you so you've got maximum distance from one hand to the other, and then pressing your arms and shoulder blades into the ground to give you a firm anchor line at the top of your body. You can then nice and slowly start to take both legs over to the left hand side. So just allowing them to descend slowly. Your aim is to bring the sole of your right foot, the outer edge of your left leg onto the ground. If that doesn't happen easily and you're left hanging, then what you could do is you could take both legs down towards the bottom of your mat until you're able to then touch the sole of your foot down. Then taking your right hand onto your left hand onto your right knee, and starting to ease that knee down towards the ground, keeping your right shoulder blade anchored firmly to the mat. Once you've gone as far as you can easily go, you can then use your breath. Inhale, repress your right shoulder blade down. Exhale, ease your knee a little closer to the ground. So those millimetre by millimetre movements increase the twist at your spine. Also a bit of an ITB stretch. We'll give it a bit more stretch in a moment, but you may feel some stretching going on down the outer edge of your right leg. Take one more breath there. Then turning your head to the left. Releasing your left hand against your leg and straightening your right leg. Once your leg's straight, you want to take a hold of it with your hand. And if when you take a hold of it with your hand, your leg is quite far away from you, so your grip is your knee or above rather than your shin or your calf, then I would recommend you take the belt and loop the belt around your foot, taking a hold of the belt with your left hand. That just makes it easier for you to get the hamstring stretch. So bringing your leg as low to the ground as you can with your right shoulder blade still in contact, and then with either your hand or your belt, ease the leg up to the wall that's above your head. As you ease the leg up, just roll your right hip away from you, so down towards the bottom of your mat. Using each out breath as the opportunity to ease your leg a millimetre or 2 higher. Pressing your right hand away from you, pressing your right heel away from you in the opposite direction to the hand. Taking one more breath, having a final lift of that leg up towards the wall above your head. Then release the belt if you've got a belt around your foot. Bend your right knee so your knees come towards each other, and then bring both legs back to the centre. Having a reset there, hips back to the middle, arms stretched out at shoulder height. Then picking up your left foot, placing your left ankle on your right knee. Moving your hips 2 or 3 inches over to the left. And then nice and slowly taking both legs over to the right hand side. Seeing if you can touch down. If you don't touch down, then you can take both legs down towards the bottom of your mat, and that will then allow you to touch the left foot onto the mat. Taking your right hand onto your left knee, easing that down, keeping your left shoulder blade firmly in the ground. Just feeling the stretch develop. Don't rush it. You'll get further in the long run the slower you take this twist. When you've got as far as you can there, use your breath, inhaling left shoulder blade to the ground, exhaling right knee, ease down a little more. If your knee's very close to the ground, and it's not impossible that your knee could touch the ground, you could maybe just get more leverage by taking your hand down towards your left ankle. And that just gives you a bit more leverage if you're getting close there. Take one more breath, another press down of your shoulder blade, press down of the knee. Then turn your head to the right, straighten out your top leg, your left leg, taking a grip as close towards your ankle as you can. If you are nearer your knee than your ankle, then do take the belt around your foot. Lower the foot to as close to the mat as your left shoulder blade permits. So keeping the left shoulder blade in contact. And then easing that leg up to the wall that's above your head. As you ease your leg up, just let your left hip roll away from you down towards the bottom of the mat. Using the exhale as the chance to lift the leg a millimetre or two towards the wall above your head. Pressing your left hand away, pressing your left heel away. So that gives you a stretch from left heel all the way through to your left fingertips. One more breath. Finally ease up of the leg. And then release. Bend your left knee, knees come towards each other, then both knees come back up towards the ceiling. Bring your hips to the centre and stretch your legs out. Hands by your side, palms turned up. Take a couple of breaths there. Being aware of how you're feeling, particularly around your hips. You probably have some residual sensations having taken those moves, or you may have some residual sensations somewhere else in your body. And then for our core today, we're going to take dynamic crow. So if you want to know what non-dynamic crow is like, that's a posture that we'll be practicing on Saturday in the special Shivananda class. To set up for dynamic crow, bring your feet together, extend your arms up above your head. So making yourself as long as you can. Hands pressing one direction, heels pressing the other direction, drawing your navel down towards your spine so that your core is fully engaged. With your navel drawing down, as you next exhale, lift your upper body away from the mat, lift your legs away from the mat, bringing your knees in, bending your knees to do that, and then lifting your arms, making contact somewhere along your arms with your knees. The closer you are to your armpits, the stronger it is. As you inhale, stretching that out, and then keep going with your breath. Every time you exhale, bringing it in, and every time you inhale, taking it out with complete control. If that's stronger than you need, then you don't send your feet as far away. You can lighten the load by keeping your knees bent and taking this with bent knees. If you want to make it stronger than when your legs stretch all the way out, don't land your heels down. That will keep you working throughout. So taking about 4 more of these if you've got them, really stretching out long on the outstretch. Seeing how close your knees can come towards your armpits on the in-stretch. Keeping your navel drawing down towards your spine so you've got complete control. Any discomfort in your lower back, make sure you're doing this with bent knees. Taking 1 more, I reckon, if you've got it. And then stretching out. So let your arms relax above your head. Have a bend in your elbows so your arms can just relax on the ground. Once again, abdominal breathing, so directing all the breath down into your abdomen, lifting your navel on an inhale, relaxing it down on an exhale. Bringing your hands by your side, and from there coming up to sitting, and from sitting then up to standing. So we're going to take our ITB stretch for the day. So we have that twist does give us a little bit of an ITB stretch. This will just give us an extra bit. So with your hands relaxing by your side, by the way, I do know what complete holics I made of the lefts and rights on last week's ITB stretch, so I'm going to be remedying that this week. So taking your left foot and crossing it over the right, bringing it back so that as if you can, your toes are pretty much in line with each other. You may well find your left toes will be a bit forward of the right, but if you can have them in line as much as you can, that is perfect. Pressing your left foot down, pressing your right foot firmly into the ground, your left knee is just relaxing. Then, lifting your arms, reaching up towards the ceiling. You probably find that you're pointing very slightly right, so bring yourself around so you're pointing straight ahead. Then, as you next exhale, start folding forward, reaching your upper body forward, letting your sitting bones head back as you reach forward, coming down and down and down until you can keep your arms lifted no more, and you can then just let them relax down, taking a hold of the opposite elbow with the opposite hand, letting your neck muscles relax so your head hangs heavy, keeping your right foot firmly pressing down and using every exhale as your chance to relax a little more down towards the ground. So you should feel something down the outer edge of the right leg, maybe more down towards the knee. You might just want to make a few minor adjustments. You might find if you press your back right leg a little more firmly into the ground, that might intensify the stretch. As might just moving your upper body just slightly over to the left so that you're more over your back left foot rather than your right. Tilting your sitting bones up to the ceiling a little more. Taking one more breath. Relaxing down on the exhale. Then releasing your hands, and on an inhale, slowly uncurling yourself back up. Uncrossing your legs, and then crossing the right foot over the left. Bringing your toes in line as much as you're able to. Your back foot, the left foot firmly pressing down, lifting your arms, turning yourself probably slightly to the right so your torso is facing forward, and then reaching up on an exhale, start hinging forward, sending your sitting bones back as your arms reach forward, keeping that forward momentum going for as long as you can, but when you can keep your arms lifted no more, let everything relax down to the ground, allow your neck muscles to relax, allow your head to hang heavy, take hold of the opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Back foot stays pressing down. Every exhale allows you to come deeper into this fold. Now just maybe taking yourself a little more over your right foot, so turning a little bit at the hips. That may well just intensify the stretch down the back of the leg, down the outside of the left leg. The more you relax, the deeper the stretch will be. Taking one more breath. Releasing your hands And then as you next inhale, slowly bring yourself back up. Maybe have a little roll back of your shoulders and then uncross your legs. Wonderful. So next we're going to take, don't sit down yet, but next we're going to take Paschimottanasana, which is forward fold that way. But Paschimottanasana, a sitting down forward fold, is actually exactly the same posture as a standing forward fold. So if you imagine me sitting on the ground, it's exactly the same. The benefit of a standing forward fold is that we have gravity helping to bring us forward and down. So we're going to take a standing forward fold first, and then we'll take Paschimottanasana. So having your feet hip distance apart, I'm going to come sideways on, and then I'm reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. So stretching good and tall, and then as you next exhale, keeping your arms lifted for as long as you can, reaching forward, maybe letting your sitting bones ease back as you hinge forward and down and down. When you can hinge no more, let your arms relax down and just take stock of where you are. If you have not come past 90 degrees, I think, then what you should do here is take a bend of your knees, and as your knees bend, you'll then allow your upper body, your torso, to come down more over your legs, and that will get you past that halfway point, bending your knees as much as you need to do that. If you have come past the halfway point with straight legs, then you can just let your upper body relax down, relaxing your head towards the ground, letting everything ease down. If your hands don't touch the ground, then take hold of the opposite elbow with your hands and let your body relax down. If your hands touch the ground, you might be able to take your hands underneath your toes, underneath the top of your feet, and use that to ease yourself down a little more. And then if you've got your knees bent, letting your upper body relax down, taking hold of the opposite hand with the opposite elbow, what you can do here is just very slowly straighten your knees a little on each out breath. But only straighten your knees if that doesn't cause your body to, your torso to lift back up. Really checking in with how your lower back feels. If your lower back's uncomfortable, then have more of a bend of your knees. So wherever you are, taking a couple more breaths, using each exhale to relax you down a little more. Then if you've got your hands tucked under your toes, just release them from under there. Everyone release your hands down towards the ground. Bend your knees nice and deeply so that you can then slowly uncurl and unfurl your way back up. Once you're lifted, have a roll back of your shoulders. So what goes on in the forward fold is we've got muscles here in our butt, down our legs, hamstrings, our butt and our lower back, and they kind of all connect. So if any one of those is tight, then that stops us being able to bring our way forward. And especially if the hamstrings are tight. But one of the ways that we can allow ourselves to keep coming forward is to take that bend of the knees, and that will then allow us to bring the torso and upper body forward. So let's now take Paschimottanasana, a seated forward fold. So come to sitting with your legs stretched out. Do sit on a block, because again, if you had your knees bent, then I would definitely recommend sitting on a block for this. And if you found that if you had your knees bent when we took the standing forward fold, then take a bend of your knees now to about the amount that you had them bent standing. Then from here, lifting your arms up towards the ceiling, stretching and reaching up, and then as you exhale, hinging forward from your hips, bringing your torso forward. If you feel that your torso is still upright, Then bend your knees a little more. Once you've come as far forward as you can with your arms lifted, let them come down. If your legs are straight, then allow your hands to come to rest wherever they are. That might be near your shins. You might be like you were standing with your hands over your feet. Then using your breath so that wherever you are, as you inhale, you ease forward. And as you exhale, you relax your upper body over your legs. If your knees are bent, then as you exhale, you might just press your knees down, seeing if your knees will come a little straighter, but not at the expense of lifting your torso back up. Your aim in this is to get a good level of stretch down the back of your legs and no discomfort in the lower back. So taking as you're bringing your body as far forward and having your knees as straight as allows you to get that good stretch and no pain in the lower back. Inhale, you ease forward. Exhale, you relax your upper body over your legs. Gradually extending the legs if they are bent. So take 2 more breaths. Then lift your head to look at your toes. Lifting your arms to stretch them forward. Have an exhale pressing forward and a big inhale lifting back up. Exhale, lowering your arms and then taking a shake of your legs. Then from there, we're going to come to some lunges. So come to kneeling at the back of your mat. So you're kneeling up, no need to sit on your heels, you'll be glad to know. So the lunge posture offers a number of ways to stretch lots of parts of the body that are really useful for runners and cyclists. So standing on your knees and then taking 1 foot forward. Do pad up under your knee if you need to. So if the knee that's on the ground is feeling uncomfortable, particularly if you're on a hard floor, then do double your mat over or find a cushion or something to give you some padding. Then bringing both hands down either side of that front foot. Once you're there, just relax your hips. Take a look at your ankle and move your foot forward as much as you need so that your ankle is definitely in front of your knee with a gentle slope away from you on your shin. It doesn't have to be too shallow a slope, but you want it to be definitely a slope away from you. Then keeping your hips relaxed, bring your right hand onto your right knee. And then on an inhale, lift your torso, pressing into that knee, taking your other hand onto the knee. If you feel unbalanced at all, you can take your right foot a little more out to the right, and that will give you more stability. So here, we're getting 2 great stretches. We're getting a stretch in the right hip, which is closed tight, but we're also getting this stretch down the left hip flexor. And you can make that stronger by taking your chest back, or you can lighten it by bringing your chest forward. Keeping your hips relaxing down, maybe seeing if you can bend your front knee a little more. And then let's now get a back bend out of this as well. It's fine to stay here if this is strong enough, but if you want to get the back bend, then lifting your arms up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips relaxing down as your arms lift up. And then take a look up between your hands, taking your arms back, tilting your rib cage up towards the ceiling like we do when we take our sun salutations. This is about tilting the bottom of the rib cage up. Taking a couple more breaths if you can. Inhaling, lifting your arms. Exhaling, sinking a little lower. Then if you're looking up, look forward. Bring your hands down either side of the front foot. And then just take a little bit of a breather. So what you might like to do is just walk back a little bit and maybe pick those toes up. You don't have to make the legs straight, but just pick the toes up So you get a little bit of a breather, taking your right hip crease back a little. And then now from this same position, let's get a hip opening. So coming back forward, hands either side of that foot, hips are relaxing down. Taking your right hand inside your right foot, turning your right foot out to about 45 degrees. And then just pressing into both hands, making sure that your chest is parallel with the mat. And then starting to walk your hand forward, bringing your chest down towards the mat so that your right shoulder starts to come down the inside of your right knee, allowing your right knee to relax out to the side. So what you're getting here is a stretch in that right hip, a really good stretch to get right after running or riding. Allowing your elbows to come down towards the ground evenly. You might be able to get both elbows onto the ground, but you may well not be able to get both elbows onto the ground. So just relaxing your upper body down as much as you can, letting your neck muscles relax so your head hangs heavy. And then just take 2 breaths. Let the exhale relax you down a little more towards the ground. Then walking your hands back, lifting your chest, turning your toes back to facing forward, bringing your hand the other side of your right foot, and then just walking your hands back, bringing yourself back up, and bringing your right foot back underneath you. Take a moment to reposition, knees hip distance apart, hands relaxing, and then taking your left foot forward. Bringing your hands either side of that foot, allowing your hips to relax down towards the ground. So you're bringing them towards the front edge of your mat. Checking your knee and ankle, moving your foot forward if you need to, so that you've got that gentle slope away from you on your shin. Marcus just a tiny bit more. And then taking your left hand onto your left knee. Keep your hips low as you press into that knee to bring your torso upright. Bringing your other hand onto the knee. Taking your foot a little more to the left if you need stability. So now you've got this stretch down the right side and a bit and some opening going on in your left hip. Really pay attention to your hip flexor. Only take this as deep as is right for you. Letting your hips relax, maybe bending your left knee a little more. And then it's fine to stay here, but if you want to make it stronger and get the back bend, lift your arms. Stretching your arms to the ceiling as your hips relax towards the ground. And if you're feeling stable, you could look up between your hands, keeping your left foot firmly pressing into the ground. And then maybe taking your armpits back, taking your arms back, tilting your ribcage up to the ceiling. So this is crescent moon. Taking a couple of breaths on the inhale, lift your arms. And on the exhale, relax your hips. Then bring your gaze to look forward, lowering your hands either side of your front foot. Just taking a little walk back with your hips, walking your hands back, lifting your toes, just to ease everything out for a moment. And then sole of your foot back on the ground, hands either side of that front foot, making sure you've got that gentle slope away from you. Turn your left foot out 45 degrees. And bring your left hand inside your left foot. Then nice and slowly, starting to bring your chest down towards the ground by walking your hands forward, aiming to bring your elbows down evenly. Your elbows may or may not touch the ground. You're letting your hips relax down, feeling the stretch inside that left hip, just coming down as far as is right for you. So all your attention is on how that's stretching your left hip. You'll still be getting a bit of right hip flexor stretch as well. Relaxing your neck muscles so your head can hang down. Taking 2 more breaths, relaxing on the exhale. And start to walk your hands back, lifting your chest, turning your toes to face forward, hand back the other side of your leg, and then pressing into that leg to bring yourself up and bringing your left leg back. Coming to sitting from there, ready to take a twist. So twist is a seating posture. We're going to have our legs stretched out. Do feel free to take a block to allow you to sit comfortably. Taking your right foot across the left leg and drawing the foot in close. Bringing your hands onto that knee. Using your hands to pull your knee to your chest and draw your chest to your knee. So you're coming up good and straight. Taking your left arm out to the side. And then bringing it back in to have a good wrap around that leg. So you want to have as good a wrap around that leg as you can get. Taking your right hand behind you, as close into the centre of your back as you can, pressing your fingertips into the ground, still lifting your chest towards your knee, drawing your knee to your chest. When you next exhale, start to take your chest around to the right. So taking your chest as far around as it will easily go. Taking your gaze over your right shoulder, if that's comfortable for your neck. Taking your right shoulder back. So your shoulder and upper back, you're taking them into the space that's behind you. Drawing your knee nice and firmly in towards you and over a little bit to the left. So that helps to stretch out your piriformis that you'll feel in your right glute. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale, press into your backhand so that you're ensuring your spine straight. Exhale, ease yourself round a little more to the right. Take 1 more breath. Then as you next inhale, lift your left arm up to the ceiling, untwisting as you do so, and then exhale to lower that hand down. Cross your legs over. Now you're bringing your left foot in, nice and close, drawing the knee to your chest, bringing your chest forward to your knees. That brings you up straight. Taking your right arm out to the side and bringing it back in to get a good hug around that leg. So you want as much arm contact with that leg as you can easily get, but you might find your hand is resting on your knee, you might find your arm comes all the way around. Taking your left hand behind you, pressing your fingertips into the ground so you're still lifting and straightening. As you next exhale, taking your chest around to the left. Taking your gaze over your left shoulder if that's comfortable, and then easing your left shoulder into the space behind it to help your chest come round some more. And then using your breath, inhale, press into the backhand, exhale, easing yourself round. Drawing that knee in close, taking it a little over to the right. 1 more breath. As you next inhale, lift your left arm up to the ceiling, untwisting as you do so. Exhale, lowering your hand, uncrossing your legs, stretching your legs out, taking a shake of your legs. And then coming to standing, ready for a good, strong standing posture. So we're going to take Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And we're going to really focus on getting the strength in the legs. When we get the strength in the legs, the posture becomes light and effortless. So take your legs as wide as they will comfortably go, making sure that you're not so wide that you feel really unstable and out of control. Then bring your hands onto your hips, turn your left foot in, and your right foot out. So your body will naturally now turn to the right. So bring your torso back around so you line up as much as you can with the long edge of your mat. In particular, you want your tummy facing forward. We want to strengthen the left leg first. So press your left foot firmly into the ground. And then focus on pressing the left heel. And as you do that, press your left knee back as well. So you're really straightening out that left leg. Again, taking it into the space that's behind your left thigh and left calf. That should have firmed up your quads. If there's still some more firming up you can do, then you can just draw your kneecap up towards you, drawing these muscles up so that they become solid and strong, keeping that downward pressure with the foot, the back easing with the knee. Then as you next exhale, slowly bend your right knee, sending the knee towards your little toes, not your big toes. Keep that back foot strong and pressing down. You don't want to lose the strength in that foot. We now want to strengthen up this foot. So to strengthen it, you want to be making sure the whole foot is pressing firmly against the ground. Maybe pressing the foot forward away from you, so that, not so that it will move, but so that you can then bring this right thigh bone back and firmly into its socket. And as you do that, you might find this left hip will come forward a little bit, and that's fine, as long as you're then still bringing your torso back around to face the front. So both feet are pressing down, this knee's easing back, this whole thigh bone's pulling into the hip socket. You can now lift your arms, keeping that strength going. Turning and lifting your arms out to the side at shoulder height. Turning to look over the middle fingers of your right hand, keeping the strength. Both feet pressing down, left knee back, right thigh bone drawing in. As you next inhale, stretch your hands a little wider. And as you next exhale, see if you can sink a little deeper. Keeping the legs strong. Then look to the right. No, you're already looking to the right. Stretch your right hand forward, so your torso follows your hand, and then bend your right elbow so you can bring your right elbow onto your right knee. Bringing your left hand behind you with your palm turned away, relaxing your hips down. Then turning so that your left elbow points up to the ceiling and your left shoulder eases back towards the wall that's behind you. Then take your left arm, straighten it and lift it up towards the ceiling. Have a press up to the ceiling, and then you can bring the arm down across and over your head. So you're getting a straight line from your left fingers to your left toes. Keeping the strength in your legs, so both feet are pressing down. Left knee easing back, right thigh bone drawing in. Holding for one more breath if you can, relaxing your hips down a little more. Then take your top hand back behind your back. Look down to your front foot. On a big inhale, straighten it, lifting up. Turning your feet to face forward, and then heel toe your feet back together. And we'll just take a couple of breaths there before we do the other side. Feeling free if you need to do anything like that to do it. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Taking your legs as wide as they'll comfortably go. Hands on hips, right foot turns in, left foot turns out. Guiding your hips back around to face the front. Navel's pointing straight ahead. Strengthen your right leg, right foot presses into the ground. Then the heel presses down a little firmer, taking your right knee back, strengthening the upper leg muscles. Strengthen a little bit more by drawing your knee up towards your hips, so that those muscles gain some strength and solidity. As you next exhale, start to bend your left knee, taking it towards your little toes rather than the big toes. When you come down as far as you can, just do a knee ankle check. Make sure your ankle is in front of your knee. And then your right leg strong, because that leg's still pressing down. Make your left leg strong, so left foot presses down into the ground. And just presses forward a little away from you so that you can draw this left thigh bone firmly back into its socket. That might bring this hip slightly round, but that's okay as long as your torso still faces forward. Then when you've got that strength in both legs, lift your arms, stretch them wide at shoulder height, turning to look over the middle finger of your left hand. Strong warriors. Keep the legs strong. As you inhale, stretch your hands a little wider. And as you exhale, sink lower, keeping your torso upright. Hold here for a breath. Keeping both feet pressing down. And maybe sort of almost stretching away from you a little as well, but not moving against the mat. Then stretch yourself forward. Take your torso over to the left. Bend your left elbow. Bring your left elbow onto that knee. Right hand behind you. Back palm facing away. Taking your elbow up to the ceiling, taking your shoulder up to the ceiling, and then taking yourself to occupy the space behind you. Then lifting your arm up to the ceiling, stretching up to the ceiling first, and then bring it across and overhead, aiming to form a straight line from outer edge of right foot to right fingertips. Seeing if you can then relax your hips down a little more. Are your legs still strong? Are both feet pressing down? Right knee easing back, left thigh bone coming in firmly to the socket. One more breath if you have it. Then taking your hand behind you, palm facing away, looking down at your front foot. A big inhale as you straighten that leg to come up, turning your feet to face forward, and then heel toeing your feet back together. Taking a shake, take a little march out if you need to. Those warrior twos looked fantastic. And they built on what we did when we took that hip stretch when we were in the lunge. So from here we'll finish with another forward fold just to get another feel for that posture. So feet hip distance apart, lifting your arms up towards the ceiling, reaching tall, and then on an exhale, reaching forward, keeping your arms lifted for as long as you can, bending your knees as much as you need to, so that you bring your body down, get past the halfway point. Once you've done that, let your arms relax down to the ground, let your neck muscles relax so your head can hang down towards the mat. Just take a moment wherever you've come to. And then wherever you are, bend your knees a little more deeply, seeing if you can bring your abdomen onto the tops of your thighs, letting everything relax down to the ground. Taking hold of the opposite elbow for a moment, letting your head hang heavy. So as you do this, you're stretching out your back. Then releasing your hands to the ground, tucking your tailbone under, and slowly rolling yourself back up. Taking a roll back of your arms and shoulders, and then coming to lie down on your mat, ready for some final relaxation. This time I can say, taking anything that will allow you to be warm and comfortable. That might mean something to go behind your head, something to keep your body warm. Finding your best relaxation posture, which may well be corpse pose, feet out to the corners of the mat, hands away from the body, palms turned up. But knowing that you could have your knees bent, knowing that you could bring the soles of your feet together, letting your knees splay out, or anything else that feels like it would be a good thing to do. And as you lie there, take 3 good, long abdominal breaths. Navel rises and falls on each breath. And know that you could then stay with a focus on your breath, but also know that there's absolutely no need to. If you want, you can allow your attention to go wherever your attention goes, as long as you're relaxing. That's all you need to do. Then with your body still for a few more moments, just gather your awareness and attention back. Wriggling fingers and toes when you're ready. Bringing your legs together, stretching your arms above your head. Toes press forward as your arms stretch back. Release that stretch. Bring your hands over by your side as you bend your knees and bring one knee then the other onto your chest, hugging your knees in, taking a rock side to side. And then bringing that to a halt, landing your feet down, landing your head down, and from there maybe coming to the right hand side for a breath or two, slowly bringing yourself back to sitting. Wonderful to see everybody. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.